Hi! I've been working all along here. I've done 2 splices. You see how they are? They protrude out more. If you come around this way, you'll see how they work. They protrude out, but they're all tight. And they're completely woven together. They can never come apart. The 2 ropes that you splice together have to be going in a continuous spiral in the same direction. They can't one be going one way and then the other. And when I started to splice this part onto this part, I checked to see, is this going this way and this going this way? No, that undoes that. So I have to take this splice apart that was done before by Felix. Very nicely done. I have to take this apart and turn the rope around. So, in order for all of the parts to work together. So, I'm just showing you that I'm undoing a lot of things that have already been done, and well done, in fact. But now, let me just make sure I'm doing everything just right here. Just so that the ropes are going in the same direction. Okay, this is twisting this way, and this has to be. Oh no, it's this piece that I'm using. Okay, this is going this way, and this is now going this way. So these 2 parts get spliced together. Okay, so I'm going to do that one. Okay, so now we're going to put these 2 together. A new splicing with these 2 ropes going the right direction here for this. So I will get to work on this, and maybe you can film it for a few minutes. You can watch it for a few minutes, but mainly you want to get the job done and have you see the finished product. Yeah. There we go. I think everything is right. So this is going this way, and this is going this way. So the whole thing is going one continuous spiral. That's what makes it one rope. You don't want to have one working against the other. So we're not going to have that. Okay, so 3 down, and these 3 up. Make sure, yeah. I'm already ready for it now. See, I slide it into this trough shape here, and it's much easier for it to come out the other side in the slippery surface without losing all the hairs of the fibers along the way. And now this one. Getting started makes it look very complicated, but once it's started, it makes much more sense. Just like everything. There, see? It's a thinner piece now. 3 times round. There's another one that I'll then separate, you see? Just take this part. It's very difficult. It's very tight. So it's great having that aid of a tool. There's hardly any to work with. Normally you could just cut that off. I'm just doing it because I think it'll help to make the transition look smoother for the eye on a pole like this where you see it close range. But as far as strength, it's already really strong. Okay, and then all this will get cut off. This is all the different parts that we split off each time. Now we're ready to do this side in the multiple splits. If I'd made a longer splice, in other words, untwisting it farther down the rope, I could have made it go into just almost, that you couldn't even tell it was spliced because it would be so thinly divided over many times. But for this, I'm doing fine just to keep it at this level of splicing. It's strong enough, and I think because it's wound around this pole, it's tight enough. Nothing will ever come unfrayed. Okay. Now, often what people do after splicing is they take a match to the rope and burn off all the little hairs that are sticking out, and it just makes it a little bit less fuzzy looking. There'll be one more after this. Now, here's the tricky thing. It's not tricky, but I have a feeling that these two ropes here are going in the wrong direction from each other, opposite directions. So I have a feeling I'm going to have to undo this from the top as well. So let's see. I'll take this up. I'm almost positive it's... Okay, so this one's twisting this way. And this one has to be twisting that way too. But it's not. See, if I go like that, I'm untwisting it, which means I have to take it from underneath here. Not easy to put back again. And I have to use this end of the rope for the splicing. Now this is a splicing, and it did stay together. As you can see, it could never come apart. You know what it reminds me of? The same principle. Do you remember when, well, I grew up in San Francisco, where there were little funny things from Japan, and there was a little finger, a woven little case that you would put your fingers into. It was made of some kind of rush or something fibrous, and you'd put your fingers in both ends and pull as hard as you could to get them out, but they wouldn't come out because the weave tightened up around your fingers. So that is basically what happens with these ropes. The rope, as you pull it, it constricts and it fights against you and makes it harder to undo. So it's not that this wasn't a good piece, but I thought this one up above it, remember the one that looks like a pigtail? That hasn't been done at all. So I thought, well, I'll start with this one and improve this one, and then we'll move up to that one instead of moving down, because we might end up with more or less rope. And this way, it's hard to explain, but this is what we're doing because I said so. That was something my mom and my mother mostly would say when 4 children were asking her questions of why, and she would say, because I said so. And we all knew exactly what she meant. No more questions. So here we go. It's actually hard to undo. It's actually done. I can see Felix really got the idea of it, just not all the way to, you see there's what they call a short splice and a long splice. And the long splice, the short splice is what he did. You just use these 3 parts. And then the long slice is where you keep on diminishing the diameter that you're weaving in, and by splitting up these into smaller pieces. So you do it for quite a long time, quite a distance. So that's what I'm going to do, because I like the smoothness of the long splice. And it is stronger, but we're not using this rope for strength. So a short splice suffices, but it's here's something to add to our bag of cut-offs. But it's short, so anyway, here we go. So now here, this is good. You're actually going to see me do this, but I won't belabor it. I'm just going to do enough that I can do this one to show you in the end what it's like. But I find it very difficult to watch something like this. It's just like looking at fingers and you know, all the fingers and fibers all intermingled together, and it's really ridiculous. But I thought I could at least show it to you enough to show you how the Swedish fid works. Okay? So here. Also normally, and I don't have anything with me because I'm trying to just show you enough to show you how to use the Swedish fid. How's that? Okay, so here's a nice piece of rope. Also, when something's been all curled around like this, sometimes I'll dampen the rope so that it's easier to manage. So here's what you do. So the rope, the pieces from this rope are down here, and the pieces from this rope are up here. And so that's the beginning of weaving them together. So I am now going to go over one, and I'm going to twist it. Remember I showed you how you untwist the rope, excuse me, and then you stick this fid in there like that. It's like a trough, and you lay this fuzzy thing, this fuzzy little piece of rope in here, and it helps to protect it and keep it together whilst you slide it through. And then you pull the fid out. And you see, instead of it all coming untwisted and being a big problem, I'm able now to move along more easily, more gracefully, in a better manner. So I'm going to do another one here. I want to make sure. Yeah, okay, here's another one. Coming up next, it has to go over to a different place in this rope, so I untwist it with all my might. It's very hard to untwist. Stick this fid in there, the Swedish fid. It opens it up enough to lay this down the passage and go through. And as you go higher up, farther along in the work, it gets more and more difficult and more reason why you need the fid. Right now, I was able to open that pretty easily. But once you get up into here, farther along, it's more difficult. Okay, so now I'm going to take this piece, I'm going to pull these up, pull this one up, there we go. And now here's the last piece of this that I need to find a home for. Here. And then untwist this one, stick the Swedish fid in here, and aim this through here so that it has a nice smooth track to enter in. I could have left it even in there to pull it, to actually get it until like right now I'm kind of working against the fid because I didn't take the whole amount. I didn't do a good job of it this time. There you go. So now each of those have been put to place here. This feels Much better. This is the difficult part because the Turk's turban was put on after the rope, and now I can't get the rope up under it very well. I bet you we could with using the Swedish fid, don't you think? I always want to put it in my teeth. It's a little hard. But at least it's so tough, tight up there. It sticks up there. There we go. I just did a dance around a maypole. Just in time. Wow, now that looks really finished now. Come back over here, my friends, and look at it. When you come over and you just see all these colors and dimensions, it's just so pretty. Well, another day, another job done. But I just, I wanted to say goodbye, but I also wanted to say, like I often think, is that all these projects, they are so much fun to do, and they do bring so much substance, but it's only a sense of substance, isn't it? Real substance is deep within and without anything. It's not what life is about. It's just a natural expression of it, just like, I don't know, nature does what it does, and we just do what comes to be done and take care of things, but not to the point where it belabors or it takes away our joy. And there's a fine line between taking great care and love and beauty around us and being a slave to it. So as long as we're just feeling, I don't know, just robust and more spirit and more energy and more life and more truth and more love, well then nothing we're doing is too much. But if it drags us down and we think, oh, we'll never get finished, and oh my goodness, what are we going to do? Then it's time to, that's the time to stop, right? So I can't think of any profound quotations to give you right now. I can just tell you how it is a lot more fun having you along with us. It is, I don't know, it somehow gets the job done in a way that it never would have, just alone. And for what? But always this adds a dimension of giving that is way beyond self. It's a lot more work, a lot more time, a lot more, we didn't get that done in time or whatever. But even that, we have to just let go and let it come to us when it comes. So as subscribers, when a little bell rings in your heart, you know, it's time for another fun little motion together and a new lesson. So everybody, let's get that together again very soon. There's so much good going on. And I just love the fact that we have lots of new visitors. Oh, I know what I should be doing with this time. I need to tell you that if you love this video, share it. Not for our sake, for the world's sake. Everybody, if you love something, it's amazing how it blesses other people. You never know. And just like if you go see a good movie and you keep it to yourself, well, then you haven't got the most out of the movie, or whatever it is. A good book, just get it out there and let all of your friends and neighbors know about it. And same thing with a good video. And then also, if you like it, just let us know. You can tell us through your comments or your thumbs. And, oh, a person said, just in a recent video, recent comment about Patreon, she said, oh, if it doesn't cost too much, I would love to be a part of it. And I think so many people don't realize that there are no rules, and that it's just the spirit of giving. It just feels great, and it does help. I mean, we some people think that we're rich. That's because they misunderstand that we are rich. We are so rich. We are rich in spirit. We are rich in life and love and gratitude. And those riches we can't even get from anybody. They're already here and already full. But just the practical daily needs are definitely in need. And it would be just great if all of the hundreds of people that are with us now, just a small little, teeny little bit in the Patreon, my goodness, it would be so great. And we would take better care of ourselves along the way, and better care of everything we touch. Okay, everybody, have a wonderful, whatever part of the day it is for you in the world. And we'll see you again soon, I'm sure. So long.